Hi everyone, wanted to do a quick project share. I made a card for a friend and I used my saturated canary stamp called Cherry Blossom. This is what it looks like. And you can see in the stamp there's actually a cherry blossom twig branch in here, but I cut that out because I just wanted the image of the girl. I colored her face and her hair with Copic markers, and then I paper pieced her dress from this Kaisercraft Little Primrose stack. And her belt comes from the same paper as this stack, and this is a DCWV solid matte stack. It's some little girl stack that I have. This paper comes from the Little Primrose stack as well. And so what I've done is I cut two different shapes out of using Spellbinders dies, and then I adhered the lace here in the background to those two pieces, and then when I went ahead and popped her up on some pop dots, so she actually is dimensional. You can see that. And I also cut a tag, a banner out of the same paper. I had one of these, I don't know what you call it. I had a piece of the paper that I used for her dress left over, so I just cut out a banner and then stamped thank you on it. The thank you comes from an Allie Edwards stamp set. I think it's a Thanksgiving stamp set. And then I put a vintage button with some twine on it, and this twine is from American Crafts. I also put modeling paste around the edges of the card. You can see here that just to give it a little more texture, and then I went over the edges with Tim Holtz distressed ink in the Victorian Rose, I think is what it's called. So that is the outside of the card, and then this is the inside, and the inside has a piece of paper again from the Little Primrose from Kaisercraft, and all of the flowers have that glossy sheen to it, and I used one of the die cuts that's in the back of the stack for journaling to write my message here. So that is my card share. I also made a couple of more flowers. I'm going to go ahead and share those with you. Made 4 flowers, and I wanted to try. This is made using one of those Gloobers I got in my Cosmo Cricket collection kit. This is the big 1-inch Gloober, I think 1-inch or 2-inch Gloober, I don't know how big it is. So that's the reason why you're seeing this clear film on it, because I stuck it down and I don't know what project I'm using it on first. But this is some trim that I got from Webster's Pages in one of those multi-packs. It's like a tutu trim that's been cut all the way, you know, it's all shredded. And then I just went around in a circle with it on the Gloober. And then I actually hot glued this center in here because I didn't want it to come out, and there wasn't that much of the Gloober like exposed, the sticky stuff exposed. So when I figure out which project I'll use it on, I just peel back the this transparent piece here and stick it down. And it's not too thick, and it'll fit on any kind of page because it is made from that tutu trim. And then the rest are made from rosettes that I've purchased. And these rosettes are, these two right here use the tutorial, and you can see my finger, I've got ink all over it. These two rosettes use a tutorial that Josella did. She cuts up the rosettes into quarters. So this is 2.5 rosettes, and it is 2 layers. So you can see here I cut some of the netting off. What I do is cut all the pieces of the rosettes up first. I don't cut the netting off yet. Put it together, and then if I decide I don't like the netting, I cut it off. So this left one I didn't really like too much of the netting showing, so I cut it off at the end, and this one I left some of it on, so that way I can decide at the end whether I want it or not. So you can see that these 2 rosettes, they're 2 layers here, and they're smaller than the Vicky flower. I've made one of these before on the bag that I altered, and I used a flower center that's just a little flower here. It's cream colored. This rosette is this flower is made from rosettes that Gisela put in my package. Thank you again, Gisela, for doing that. And I thought it was so cute because they're like little orange hearts. It's really cute, and it's kind of a cream color actually, as opposed to white. So this is really cute. And then I also did one in this red striped rosettes that I had as well. These are red and white, and I thought it turned out great. And then this is one of those vintage buttons that's in the middle here. So those two were made using Gisela's tutorial. And then Jasmine D also posted one of her own. And instead of cutting the rosettes, she uses the whole rosette. So this is actually 3 of the blue and white polka dot rosettes that are folded in half and glued down. And then I used some smaller white rosettes. So these are the 2.5-inch rosettes. This one in the back, and then this one is those smaller rosettes, also folded in half and glued down. So you can see here it's not as puffy again, and I do have one of Vicky's flowers here. Oh, not right next to me. 1 second. Vicky had sent me some of her flowers in a rack or swap that we did, and you can see here's one of her flowers. They're so puffy and they're so cute. I love this one because it's got the mix of colors. But so you can see this is not anywhere near as puffy, and then this this one is even a little bit smaller actually. And they're both 2 layers. This one is probably 2 or 3, it looks like. But it's like the mama one and the baby ones. Anyway, so I thought I'd try those just to see how they would turn out. And I really do like all of them. I mean, they all can be used for different types of projects, and some for to be like the more focal piece of it. Or if you want something that's a little bit smaller, you can do these as well. And the size of the flower does depend on how close you put each of the pieces together. So if you were to move them, I just use a piece of cardstock on the back. If you were to glue them down further away from the center of the circle, then your flower would obviously be bigger. So it really just depends too on how big you want to make them. But the puffiness has a lot to do with how you do this fold here when you're folding them. So these are just folded in half. There's no cutting involved in the rosettes except to cut them apart so that they're single rosettes instead of lined up on the trim. So yeah, this was kind of fun too because it was quick. And I just glued down one of those Sewology buttons that I got from Hobby Lobby in the center of this one. And yeah, so that is my project share for today. I hope you liked it, and I hope everybody has a good week. Talk to you soon. Bye.